I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, October the 3rd, where we've got selective buyers all of a sudden on the calves. It's fall run time and the calves are coming to town. Springborn calves there, and lots of them hitting the markets this week. Just all of a sudden hitting this week. We've gotten into October and that's calf run time, and there's enough of them where the buyers are really selective. They want the steers in particular, which is really widening the discount between steers and heifers, and also they're wanting them weaned. And you guys that have got these calves to sell, if you want those big top prices on them, you've got to do the work. You've got to get them weaned, and 30 days ain't enough. They want 45 days weaned. They want a full shot regiment. They want everything right on there to really achieve the top prices. I will grant you, there's times you can sell those really top quality calves right off the cow, and you probably yield as much money as you would on a little bit of weight loss and some expense on doing all that work. But that's your choice, and there's buyers for both kinds. But the top prices are going to be for those long time weaned shot program calves. And you guys just make the decision on what you want to do. But let's look at the board on Tuesday. October live cattle futures up 30 cents at 113.97. Been up a little bit both days so far this week, and it is going to be a good measure for your fat cattle trade this week if we don't fall out of bed here as we enter the middle of the week. December live cattle up 52 cents at 119.47. October feeder cattle up 42 cents at 159.07, and your November feeders up 55 at 159.57. Your fat cattle trade, and we are starting to see just a little bit of it, even though we're early in the week. But on Monday we did see a little bit of trade. It was mostly at 112 in the northern plains, and that spells good for what the trade could be this week. But like I said, if the board falls out of bed, we could lose what we gained. But a little bit of 112 there, mostly the regionals in the northern plains, and then that would be buck and a half higher than what we saw last week, but we're not near established yet. But on Tuesday, early trade also saw some more trade in Iowa. 3,300 head sold again at 112, but struggling a little bit on the dress side, but the cattle are yielding pretty well. But at 174, and that would be steady with last week. Nebraska had some cattle sell also, about 800 heads all, and they were selling the live sales, just a few of them at 111 and also that 174. Did hear of some trade also in the northern plains at 173, picked up. Normally your live sales are all FOB and your dress sales are delivered, but when we get into times when your packers are jockeying around and trying to get cattle bought without elevating the market, you will see them come in and buy some cattle dressed, picked up, and then the sellers don't have to deal with the freight charges on there. But you know, if those cattle are going very far, and a lot of them are going to Kansas out of the northern plains, that would be at least 175 or better. But it doesn't really establish that price because they are picked up, and that just adds to the little bit of the element of the trade. But keep your eyes open, guys, as we start getting into this fat cattle trade. It needs to be a buck or two higher. Another thing I want to talk about, relay a message from Steve Hilker with Steve Hilker Trucking, Cimarron, Kansas. Been some stories going around of some of these cattle haulers getting harassed by DOT due to the ELD and the hours of service. Your livestock haulers are still exempt for time being now. They don't fall under the regular ELD codes for people hauling widgets and other things, but you can't just pull a live load of cattle over on the side of the road and let them sit. It's cruel to the cattle and puts undue pressure on your livestock marketing. We've gotten into your feeder cattle markets here. We've got some big sales coming up this week. We've seen some big sales already. Tom Fry, Creston, Iowa. They've got a big sale coming up here on Wednesday, and Tom Fry is president of LMA, Livestock Marketing Association. That is great for that individual association, but has nothing to do with him just being a prince of a guy and have a great family run operation there. He's got a good sale coming up on Wednesday with 1,400 yearling feeders and another 500 fresh calves right there from the local South Central Iowa region there. And if you can't make it to that sale, call some orders in. There'll be some good cattle there. But on Wednesday, or actually on Tuesday, excuse me, starting into the big sales, OKC West had their calf sale on Tuesday, 5,000 head. You're starting to see those calf runs elevate a little bit. They've been selling 1,500, 2,000 every week so far, but now we're getting into the calf run. They're up to 5,000. Be hard to have more yearlings at that, but on Wednesday, but they could have a touch more, and then pretty soon the calf run will be heavier than the yearling run. But those weaned calves were steady in El Reno, and stiff discounts on those unweaned balling calves, and they're mostly fleshier. Guys don't want to buy flesh and fill, they want to put it on themselves. So keep that in mind, guys. But a good steady market on the weaned calves there. But Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri had a good sale, 3,400 head on Tuesday there in West Plains. Steer calves there were $3 to $6 higher, and instances as much as $10 higher on the right kind, right quality, right condition. Again, that goes back to being weaned and having their shots and all that work done. Heifer calves were kind of unweaned, or uneven, and like I said, the buyers are real selective here early as they're getting in here on their early calf orders, and they're going to pick what they want, what they really need the worst as we start into them. And now there'll be more calf orders as we get further into the calf run, and they'll start absorbing more of those heifer calves and the unweaned kinds. But you know, if you want to get those top prices, you know, give them what they want. Yearling feeders in Ozarks Regional Stockyards and West Plains, straight up $5 higher. How do we know that they was $5 higher? Well, a week ago, if you remember, I quoted 2 loads of 939 pound steers at $146.75. Same consigner, same cattle, 2 more loads, basically the same weight but 7 pounds lighter. 150 head of them weighed 932 at $152. That's where you find your market. They're straight up $5 higher, guys. And some other individual quotes coming out on Tuesday. Phillips, South Dakota, on a top price for calves there. 87 head of 458 pound steers, bring $213 on Tuesday there in Phillips, South Dakota. Kingsville Livestock Auction, Kingsville, Missouri, had a couple of loads of real standout yearlings there. Look at these 60 head, weighed 876 pounds at $161. Had another load, basically the same weight, 878 at $160. Good prices there, West Central Missouri. But look back again at Phillips, South Dakota on these 5 loads of 9 1/4 to 950 pound yearlings there. Bring $162 to $163.75. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.